Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. My name is Matt. Standard ammunition review today. Our flavor of choice is 5.56 by 45 millimeters, or 5.56 NATO, or 223 Remington, or any of the other monikers that you want to call it. This is from Igman or Ingman, depending on how you want to say it. Someone correct me in the comments below.
The Ahmed Folly is here to see.
Axel Foley. Axel.
Axel.
This is their 55 grain full metal jacket M193 loading. In the past, we tested the 223 spec loading, and now we're going to see if the M193 and 5.56 NATO markings on this box live up to its claims. Typically, when we're looking at M193, there's a bunch of different specifications that go into being able to call that round M193, like case sealant, annealing, acceptable accuracy, and all that mumbo jumbo. But generally speaking, I'm after a velocity spec, and that is 3167 feet per second, somewhere thereabouts at 78 feet. We have a Prochrome PAL Digital DLX at about 12. So if we're seeing over that from our 20-inch barrel, we know that, at 78 feet, we're not going to lose a ton of velocity. We'll at least meet that specification. In full transparency, Target Sports USA provided us with this Igman 2 test with no strings attached. After we've collected our velocity and general reliability, I only have 100 rounds of this, so it's just a small snippet of that reliability data. But if I'm getting a lot of hard primer strikes or something with that small lot set, you could extrapolate that out to know that this potentially may not be a load for you. After we've done all that, we'll step out to about 100 yards, check our practical accuracy, and send you on your merry way. First, we'll start with our 7.5-inch pistol build from Palmetto State Armory. Got the X2 Dev Group Jackal charging handle and their muzzle device on here. Our hated Bushnell TRS 25. And now our 10.5-inch barrel. This is our Palmetto State Armory SBR. Got the Primary Arms 3X Cyclops up top, Yankee Hill 3-port QD muzzle brake out front. Not detecting any muzzle flash, so that's good. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to bring my box of ammo that I keep my M193 in for my control. So our control today will be the Igman 223 loading that we tested last time. And now our 14.5-inch upper. This is from Pro 2A Tactical. As I mentioned in a few prior of my videos, I picked up a couple uppers from them to do a demo and review on, and so that I had more barrel lengths. This one's been pretty solid. I did have to put an adjustable gas block on there, but that's the fault of the barrel manufacturer and not the assembler. And now on to our 16-inch. I actually just picked this up. This is our Springfield Armory Hellion, the Croatian VHS2, but in semi-auto only. It is a bullpup. You can actually eject from the left or right-hand side, depending on how you configure it. Got our Primary Arms 1-6 second focal plane up top. Hold on. Getting some airs here. And now on to our 20-inch. This is our Mixmaster parts. We got the PSA Premium double chrome lined FN upper up top here. We're shooting for 3167 feet per second or better. The specification for M193 is at 78 feet. So if we see close to that and or over at 12 feet, we should be pretty good there. And now our final barrel length, this is our 22-inch TC compass and our R.A.N.G.E chassis. This is our armor slayer. We still should see some gain in velocity from this load in this barrel. Nice. I would say that's very borderline for being an M193 loading. I'll have to look at all the velocities and see where we stack. Here is our Igman M193 spec at 100 yards, TC compass, 22-inch barrel using the JK Armament rifle kit because it really tightens my groups up. We are in a lead sled, 50 degrees outside today. The sun's coming in from over here on the target. I can see it pretty clear. You can see there's a little bit of wind, but not too much. This is very typical for M193, 2.292 inches and 3.085. I may grab a couple more groups, but like I said, this is very much the norm for our 55 grain full metal jacket when we push the velocities. In contrast, just to make sure you guys know that I can hit the broadside of a barn sometimes, here is our CBC 77 grain OTM. Same shot on the same day, 0.618 inches and 0.586 inches. Look at that. If I hadn't pulled that one, that would have been like a perfect group. And as well, here is our AAC 77 grain SMK. So like I said, our M193 results are very much the norm here. Well folks, there you have it. I would say our Igman M193 5.56 loading comes very, very close to that line of whether it meets that velocity specification or not. Now there are a lot of variances, especially any temperature, barometric pressure, dew point, humidity, and elevation. It was about 50 degrees outside when I did these velocity testings over a couple of days. And typically you can gain sometimes 1 foot per second to 1.5 feet per second for every degree increase in temperature up to about 75 degrees or so. So we could gain anywhere from 30 to 40 feet per second depending on our temperature gain. So this might make it. Now in full retrospect, the 223 loading of this is quite a bit slower. Now as far as accuracy goes, nothing to write home about. Anytime I test our 55 grain full metal jacket in any offerings from almost anybody except for I think R.A.N.G.E or PPU, whatever those guys are doing, they're doing a really good job at keeping that tight, consistent accuracy. But otherwise, I always see around 2 to 3 inches at 100 yards with these loads. I will say that I like that both ends of our ammunition are sealed for long-term storage. One detraction that some people may have is that the box itself is not very robust. There's a little edge over here that they glue together. Probably would be better stapled or in a different type of packaging, but sometimes I know a lot of people don't care too much about the packaging and they throw it away. But if you're one that likes to keep all of your ammunition in its own packaging for any kind of logistics or knowing what you're actually picking out of the box to shoot, you may not like these boxes for transporting. With all that being said, it's time for me to get the heck out of here. I skipped an exercise day to come out here and take a day off and do some shooting. So I might have to do some bicep curls or maybe some strict press later to keep my gains up. But at the end of all my videos, I take a moment to thank all those who helped make these possible. Number one is my Patreon and Subscribe Star fans. I have a link tree in the description below with various ways to support me since YouTube always likes to randomly take down videos of us content creators that do Second Amendment stuff. Number 2 is Target Sports USA, who in full transparency, again, provided me with some extra of this ammunition to complete my review. And of course, number 3 is you all for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you at the range.